All right, y'all. Welcome to my show. My name is Tony Padilla, and today I'm not holding anything back. We're diving into how I went from being someone who didn't grow up with money to building a life of freedom, all through sales. We're talking finances, mindset, mistakes, growth, and the real power behind knowing how to sell. Not just the product, but yourself. If you're in sales thinking about it or just tired of where you're at in life, this episode is for you. I'm also going to get real about building my brand, hiring more salespeople, and why I believe this industry can literally flip your entire lifestyle if you're willing to work. Let's get into it. So, where I started is I started as a consumer myself, didn't have solar. I had sat down with four people, three people, three solar reps. The last guy that came by my home just rubbed me the right way. Very knowledgeable, very professional. Everything just, we clicked. I immediately knew this was my guy. So we go through the presentation, sign up for solar, etc., etc. He says at the end of the conversation, at the end of the presentation, he says, hey, just so you guys are aware, we have a $500 referral program. Anybody you send our way, our company will cut you a $500 check. That's all he needed to tell me. I was really pumped up about that. In a matter of 3 months, I made $3,000 just as a side hustle. I was fully immersed in the school at the time. I was taking about anywhere, I think, from 15 to 17 units, which anybody that knows college, that's a lot of units. So I was just doing it on my off time, like just calling everybody, anybody and everybody, literally my sister, uncle, mom's colleagues, mom's coworkers, everybody. And I eventually made $3,000 in 3 months. And finally, one day, me and who's now my district manager, but me and John at the time, we're having a conversation outside of one of the homes after we finished signing them up for solar. And I asked him, hey, bro, like, what kind of money is involved in this kind of business where you can give me $500 for each deal? And he told me, and the rest is history. When I first realized that this industry, that sales, could be more than just a job, is when I started enjoying being in the company of strangers that I didn't know. They were letting me into their house. Some situations were a little bit awkward, but there were some that we just clicked. It's like I felt like I had met somebody that I should have known my whole life, and everything just came together, and we became friends. And they showed me around their house. They told me come over. They fed me. That's when I realized that this could be more than just a job. It's being in the business of people, being able to talk to people, have a good time with them, get to know them. They're letting me into their homes. They're trusting me to let me into their homes. That's when I realized it. It's like I feel like I'm in the people business where I just enjoy talking to strangers, having conversations with people I don't know, and becoming friends. The key moment that changed everything for me was the year that I had a six-figure year. I had a six-figure year, and I just knew, like, it's like I can have a six-figure year moving forward any year if I wanted to, because all I have to do is just place enough phone calls, have enough conversations with people, and I can get that. And that's all it comes down to. It's like not even physical work. It's just like, as I'm at, like, I'm just gonna wake up today and I'm just gonna start making calls and talk to anybody and everybody. And I don't need a drug. I have a background, a history of drug abuse, but this is my drug. And it changed everything for me, realizing that and that moment of insight was just recently too. It wasn't even like a year ago or years ago. It was just recently. Like, my drug that I really need is just having conversations with people. And there's days where I don't feel my best, and I'll just start making a bunch of phone calls and talk to a bunch of strangers. And then by the end of it, some conversations are good. By the end of it, I feel great. I feel like, I feel happy. I just talk to, we're social creatures, and the fact that I spent 3-4 hours just talking to random people and having some good conversations, my communication skills are better at the end of the day. And not just that, but I feel like this is the drug that I needed. Like just conversations with people. That changed everything for me. And the money is just like a phone call away. I just call enough people, eventually anything that I need, I will get. That changed everything for me. And that was just a few months ago. Yeah, like I think success, in my opinion, and the way I define it, is freedom. Freedom, of course, finances, because you can't, without money, you can't do anything. You can't get the freedom that you want. It's not that I want money, I want the freedom behind money. So that's the way I would define success, is being able to be free to do whatever I want. I don't have to answer to a boss, a nine to. I don't. I'm not at a 9 to 5 where I have to wake up at a specific time every day, be in a big hurry to get there. My mornings are slow mornings. I get up as I want. As long as I don't have an appointment first thing in the morning, I get up when I want, as I want. And then I slowly get into I get out of, first gear and get into second and then third. And then I find my peak throughout the day where I'm just operating at a high level, but it's on my terms. It's not on anybody else's terms. And that's part of what I define as success, that being financially free, which I'm still building that up. I have 5 kids, so it's a little hard, but it has me in this nonchalant, kind of relaxed state of mind, the way I can operate, because of the fact that I'm in sales. I'm in sales. I don't have to answer to anybody. I know that I just placing enough calls throughout the day will get me the money that I need, and I'm happy with that. And that's how I define success on my terms. When I realized that sales wasn't just about the money, but about the lifestyle, was, yeah, probably about a month or two ago, when I had that moment of insight where I was just like, hey, like I really enjoy calling these people. I don't need a drug. I don't need to consume anything. I just need to place enough calls. Everything will always be fine. And just talking to people, checking in with my customers. I'm the type of guy that I call all of my customers. Every single customer that I've ever had, I still call them to this day. There's not anybody that I had to shy away from. And I will just have a conversation. I'm prepared for them to tell me, hey, I'm not happy with this, and that. Well, that's why I'm calling them, because I'd like to have that communication with them, to be able to say, hey, well, let's see what's going on. Let's address what's going on. There's something going on with your product, this, and that. The worst thing I could do is not ever reach out to them, like a lot of people in this industry do. And that's in any industry. That's not just in solar, which is what the industry that I'm in right now. But yeah, I mean, that's when I realized it's not just about the money. It's a lifestyle where I could just call people all the time, and some of these people have become my friends. So that was about a month or two ago when I had that moment of insight. So when I was younger, my I thought about money like something I needed to save. I needed to save all the time, and it helped me out when I was younger. Now, because of several reasons, the fact that I have 5 kids, I am running a business. I, I have a lot of, you know, operating expenses, and now I look at money differently. Back then, I was always in this mode where I felt like I needed to conserve my money and stack a big pile of cash, but not really use it. And now I use the money. Like I tell people, like I'm on that Grant Cardone tip where I enjoy staying broke, but I also have this abundance mindset about money where I can make it again. And I just trust the process, know that if I put my head down, keep my mind clear, I can generate that money. It always just comes one way or the other, as long as I put in the work. Of course, if you're not putting in the work, it's not going to come. And sometimes it even does. Sometimes when I just, take a step back and relax, then I feel like from all the seeds that I've planted in the past before, whether somebody calls me and says, hey, are you still doing solar? Are you still in sales? Or this, and that. And the next, I get a deal that just lands on my lap. But yeah, so now I enjoy staying broke. I enjoy staying broke. I enjoy spending my money, because it gives me that drive to go out there and hunt it every single day. And that's the industry that I'm in. I'm in solar commission only, so I have to hunt my food every day. And I feel like, just knowing myself, everybody's different, but me knowing myself, knowing that if I have money there, I'm gonna take my foot off the gas. Me knowing, like, there's always something that you could spend your money on. There's always something that needs service, maintenance, blah blah blah. You got to pay bills, or this and that. I'd rather take the money that I have, instead of hoarding it, pay off those bills, and then it give me the motivation to drive, whether I'm tired or not. It almost pulls me out of that being tiredness, because I know I got to go out there and hunt it again. And it works for me. That works for me. And that's how my mind has shifted. And I just have this abundance mindset, that knowing that money will come one way or the other. So that's how my mindset has shifted in the way I think about money. Mindset blocks. So my thing is, it's funny because, I was listening to an Andrew Tate podcast, and I adapted this, and I don't think I will ever let it go. I think this is going to be me forever moving forward. My mindset blocks, I don't have any more mindset blocks anymore, because my mind is my greatest ally. I will never let my mind turn against me. And I don't have those. If I even do have a small inclination where my mind gets carried away and it just starts going down this negative path, oh, you just put yourself in debt, oh, you can't do this. As soon as I say, nope, 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 mind, let's not do this. Your mind is your greatest ally. You cannot turn against it. Blah, blah, blah. I talk to my mind and I tell my mind, don't turn against me. Nope, we're on the same team. We got to work together. And I immediately just put my head down, and I know exactly what I need to do. And I go into these situations with no fear. So I don't have mindset blocks anymore because of that, because my mind is my greatest ally. The way I manage my income as a sales rep, I just, I'm just like, hey, utilize it. I don't spend it like in what's the word I'm looking for? I don't spend it in, like, I don't do wasteful spending. Everything is meticulous. And if I went out, like this past week, and I went out to Newport Beach, got a hotel, but I spent it with my kids, and I'm like, no, this is the right choice. I need to make sure I spend my money with my kids, and I'm having a good time with my kids, giving us memories. But as far as like blowing it on something stupid, I don't do that. Everything is meticulous. All my expenses, I know what I'm doing, and I'm okay with it. So yeah, I feel like, as a sales rep and also the CEO of my company, I feel like I'm in the company is in a baby phase right now. So for me, there is no room for saving. It's all expenses, pay for this, pay for that, to try to grow the company, try to grow the branding myself. Everything is just put in, to say, hey, I'm spending this money to grow my brand, to grow my audience. I'm doing this giveaway, to have people go to my Instagram page and follow and repost my Instagram page for you to win a prize, to be able to go on a cruise in August, which we have in effect right now. So my Instagram page is Solar IQ Solar Consulting. I will put a link in the description, but pretty much what we got going on right now is that if you follow my page and you repost it or share it on your story, you will have the chance to win you will have a chance to be on a cruise. You and another person will be on this cruise. And if not, if you guys want to opt out of that cruise, it's a 4-day cruise. It's going to take you to the Catalina Islands, and it's going to take you to some coast off Mexico. So some beach off the coast of Mexico, which I got to look into it. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But you can have that option. It's going to be it's going to be the Carnival cruise ship that you're going to be on. It's a 4-day getaway. It's going to be in August. But also, if you don't want to do that, then you can opt out for the $500 cash prize. So it'll be either one. So we have that going on in the future. But yeah, so things like that, to bring more brand awareness, I'm willing to take $500 of my income, my money, to dump into something like that, because I understand that branding is important. Everybody lives like this these days. Everybody's on their phone. So I want to be there. And I figure if I could bring some more awareness and some more attention to my Instagram page, then, and if I had to spend a little bit, that's perfectly fine. That's the way I see my company, and that's the way I see, income as a sales rep and as the owner of a solar company. Why I think sales is the most valuable skill that you can learn is because if you learn how to sell, you can literally sell everything. Everything in this world had to be sold by somebody. Like this iPad, the reason why this iPad exists, not this iPad, but this laptop, the reason why this laptop exists is because somewhere deep down the line of this ending up on my desk right here is because somebody picked up the phone, a sales guy picked up the phone. Like if you just create a product, nobody's gonna buy it. Like unless because they don't know about it. It takes somebody, a sales guy, to pick up the phone and say, hey, we got this beautiful HP laptop that we just released. It's got the NVIDIA, graphics card or graphics processing unit, GPU. It's got this, it's got that, because somebody picks up the phone and calls Best Buy. They call other distributors and they say, hey, we got the best laptop to date, blah, blah, blah. And somebody is a great salesman, and that's why this laptop is on my desk. Salesman, any sales group, any salesman is the backbone to any organization. Anything somebody out there has selling. If you can learn to be that person, you will be rewarded handsomely for it. That's why sales is one of the most, if not, it is the most valuable skill that somebody can have. Once you become a great salesman, the confidence it gives you, it spills over into other parts of your life. You can sell yourself to a woman. Hey, I'm the best man there is. I'm it. That's it. There's nobody like me. Blah blah blah. You become exceptional. You can learn how to sell yourself to anybody. So what sales teaches me and has taught me about people is sometimes you can say all the right things and it has nothing to do with you and it has everything to do with them. They just aren't ready. I find it really, really hard when some people say, hey, you had to, you said the wrong thing. I get it. I get all that stuff is good to go back and self-reflect, whether it's in the form of an after action review, which is what I do. I usually go back and I create a small after action review after every presentation, whether it's sold or not, and go back and reflect on what could I have said, what happened, why did it happen, what could I have said differently, and what will I do next time. But what it teaches me about, what sales teaches me about people mostly is it's timing. A lot of it just comes down to timing. You can call somebody, nope, not interested. You call somebody on a Monday after they've worked, they had the whole weekend off, partied, whatever. They come back to work on Monday, they're hungover, they're not happy that they have to be at work. That's why the majority of heart attacks statistics show that heart attacks usually happen on Mondays when people are on their way to work. Well, you talk to somebody on that Monday, they don't want to hear it. They don't want nothing. Nope, never going to do solar, not interested in your product, blah, blah, blah. Boom. Pretty rude. Call that person back on a Friday. Mood will be completely different because they know they have the whole weekend off. They're going to be in a good mood. So it all just comes down to timing. That's what I've learned about people in sales. Everything is timing. Same thing with a woman. You try to talk to a woman, right? She's talking to another guy. She has 3-4 other guys she's talking to. You try to reach out to her, try to hit her up. She's more than likely going to say no. She's, invested already with somebody else. She breaks up with that guy. You call her again. Yeah, I'll go out with you. It's timing, That's all it is. And yeah, it does give me confidence, knowing that a lot of it is just timing. I think some of the misconceptions that people have about being a salesperson is that they lie. And you know what? There are people in this industry and all sales industries that do lie. I'm not one of those. I like to operate transparently as much as I can without giving them too much information, because if they knew how, the financing and everything works on the back end, they probably wouldn't do it if you gave them all that up front. But there are some people that just straight lie. Oh, hey, you're gonna get this much money back from the federal government. What are you gonna do with that money? No, 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 no. Like, you got to be transparent on how that tax credit works for solar. Um, but I think that's a big misconception. And then you know, for me, I customer service is number one. So I focus big on customer service, making sure, like I just told you guys earlier, like, I call my homeowners. I'm always following up with them, checking in on them, because that's my number one. I think a lot of people have the misconception that a sales guy is just going to be here to sell me something and then they're going to disappear on me. I think that's a big misconception. And while I want to say 90% of the people out there are that way, there is a few 10% that are not that way, and they're going to stick it out with you till the end. And I'm one of those. And I have a few people that I can vouch for that are some of those as well. But I think that's a big misconception that people have, that we're all the same, that you're going to sell me something and then I'm never going to see you again.
All right, awesome. So, what are some daily habits that separate top earners from the common salesman?
Daily habits is, for me, is staying sober. The discipline to stay sober. Because it could be a long day, you haven't had any sales, all week, whatever. In your mind, and that's another thing, is a daily habit is, always making sure that your mind doesn't turn against you, because your mind can be your biggest enemy in this industry, especially when it's commission only. You get impatient. You start doing things erratically. You don't stay calm. You have to learn to stay calm in this industry, knowing that things will be all right as long as you put in the work. Eventually the solar gods will bless you, or the sales gods will bless you, because that is all across the board for anybody that's in sales. I think that's what separates the top earners, is having the discipline to not get a drink throughout the week. Because if like during the week, on the weekend, whatever, however you want to structure your life, like my thing is, like, there's times where I've had a bad day, it's been a stressful day, and I get into my head and I'm just like, oh my God, I just wish I had a drink right now, or I wish I had a smoke. And then it's like, nope, the discipline to stay sober and do it again the next day, and be as sharp as you possibly can be for the next homeowner, is a good daily habit to maintain. Not just for the sales part of it, but also for your own life. Just maintain every day. You get up, you wake up feeling good. It's like, I know what it's like to wake up and have a weed hangover, or have a hangover in general, and you don't operate as efficiently as possible. So it's big. I would say, to be a top earner, and when I had my best year in this industry, is when I was just like stayed sober for weeks and months at a time, where I didn't consume anything. I was even very careful about my caffeine intake, all that stuff. I think those are some of the daily habits, that the staying disciplined to stay sober, and allowing your mind to be your greatest ally, and never letting your mind turn against you. Because I've seen it. I've seen even some people that do not consume any kind of drugs or anything like that, or don't put anything into their body, but they don't have control of their mind. I see those people suffer. If you're hungry and you want to do something that can change your life in a positive direction, I'll teach you everything that I know. If you want to join solar sales, or just sales in general, I don't need perfect, I just need effort. I can help you, whether you're in car sales, whether you're in solar sales, whether you're in security alarm sales, whatever it is, I can help you. I don't need perfect, I just need effort. That's it. We're in a new age where you have the ability to create your own brand for free. Just look at all these social media influencers that are millionaires because they found a way to brand themselves. You got, Cardone Capital, Grant Cardone. You got Andy Elliott, Elliott Army. You got, Trump Organization. That's his last name. He branded himself. That's it. That's why I'm personally doubling down on my brand. We're in an age where we get free advertising. You can advertise on Facebook for free. You can advertise on Instagram for free. You can advertise on TikTok for free. You can advertise on YouTube for free. That's why I'm doubling down. And not just that, but everybody's like this these days. Everybody lives on their phone. Everybody, everywhere you go. Why I want to be there? You know, I want to be there. I want to be everywhere where everybody's at, so that they could see my brand. And if I'm there and I'm focusing on branding myself, money follows attention. That's my honest opinion. Money follows attention. And if I'm on everybody's attention, if everybody's paying attention to me, then they will start paying me. I am big on posting on social media for transparency reasons. And you can see the success, you can see the trips, and I even post my commission statement sometimes, like, hey, I made this much. I got $19,000 deposited into my bank account 2 weeks ago. Here you go. So you could see, like, people are gonna gain the trust to see this guy's really making money. He's really got money coming in through his bank account. It's gonna help with recruiting for people that want to, be on the same tip. It's gonna help with trust too, knowing that, hey, we can trust this guy. Look at, he's always posting. We see him. He doesn't go through dark phases where he just falls off. He's not inconsistent. I'm very consistent with posting all the time, and you can see me in the way I operate, and I'm living a healthy lifestyle. You can see that I post the good food that I'm eating, the time spent at the gym, out the sales calls, everything. So you can know, and it builds trust, knowing like, hey, I trust this man. I trust this man to do business with him because he's got his head on straight. He's not partying, he's not doing stupid stuff. Maybe sometimes I do push the envelope a little tiny bit, but as far as like, I'm every day I'm working, every day I'm clean. I woke up this morning, went straight to the gym, posted me maxing out on some reps. Here at the office now, always doing things, always moving in the right direction. So that will build trust. Compared to if I just posted something, me, driving a new Mercedes, and then like, well, how does he get his Mercedes? What is he up to? And then there's nothing else. I don't know. I could be selling drugs or, ripping people off, and that's why I don't want to post that stuff. No, I post me making phone calls all the time, me making these sales calls. I post all that stuff on my social media just to gain that trust and to be transparent. Whether I want to post, there's many times where I don't want to post, but nope, those little phrases always come in my mind, like, hey, money follows attention, bro. Money loves attention. Okay, cool. Boom, got to post anything, whether I feel like it or not. I just post. It is what it is. Here you go. Keep your eyes on me. I keep it real. I do push the envelope a little tiny bit. Like, I do push the edge a little tiny bit, but yeah, I mean, even so, like, not an idiot. Like, I'm a good businessman. I'm responsible, and the reason for that is because I know that thin line, where it's like, hey, this is a little too much, or not. I just know when to say, and not just that, but no matter what I post, I do not let my mind turn against me where I feel bad about what I just posted. Say, nope, I'm a man of strong convictions. So therefore, if I posted that, I wanted to post that. And I don't care. I don't care if the whole world is against me. I don't care if everybody else sees it and thinks I'm stupid, whatever. As long as I don't think I'm stupid and I don't let my mind turn against me on that, perfectly fine. I don't care about oversharing or anything. As far as, posting something stupid that other people don't like, it's perfectly fine. Like, I as long as I'm okay with it and my mind is on my side, that's all that really matters. So the way I got started in solar, my story of solar is, or my story of sales, because I want it to be relatable to anybody. My story of sales is, it just happened by accident. It happened by accident. Bought a product from somebody, really liked them. They told me they have a referral program. Got into it. It's changed my life. I love it. It's given me freedom. I love it. Exactly what I pictured as I was growing up, that I wanted life, freedom. It's like I manifested this, and it's all falling into place. I get to, be here hanging out with my buddy, doing a podcast. That's on my time, freedom. I don't have a boss. My customers are my boss. That's my definition of freedom. That's my story. I'm in sales, changed my life, got the freedom, get to spend time with my kids whenever I want, and I'm making good money. So I don't have any mindset blocks anymore, because my mind is my greatest ally. I will never let it turn against me. We all work together. My mind, I work together. Everything. Any moment that I have, any moment of doubt, like nope, 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 mind. Like you gotta, don't turn against me, and then that fixes everything. The way I see life, it changes the way I see money too. I have an abundance mindset. Nope, I will figure it out. I will make this happen. I will figure it out. I'll pull out my iPad, write some notes down. How am I gonna come up with this money? How am I gonna figure this problem out? And boom, think and grow rich. That's all it is. And the next, you know, I come up with the finances. I figure it out. That's how I see money and finances. The skills that solar has taught me is the most important one of all, the communication skills. Being able to communicate your ideas, your thoughts in an articulate manner where people respect it and they buy a product from you, is that will take you farther than anything in this life. It's the most valuable skill of life, is being able to communicator. It kind of spills in over into the, bro, that was a good one, but I forgot what that second one part was. What was it again?
So, second part was going to be what habits separate a top earner from a common salesman?
Yeah. What habits? Yeah, just, you know, staying disciplined every day to say, hey, I got to make those phone calls. I got to work, staying consistent, staying sober. You know, for me, at least that's what it is. I know some people, you know, do the inverse, and they probably, you know, sell a lot of deals, sell a lot of systems, you know, make a lot of money, but at the end of the day, they're working backwards. They're working from the outside in. They're attracting the money and they're not focusing on their health. Me, I work from the inside out. You know, I work from, hey, let's make this money, and then everything will spill over afterwards. Yeah, social media is important in branding yourself because everybody lives on their phone these days. Everybody's on their phone. I mean, if I wasn't doing this, I'd probably be on my phone. And I buy stuff off my phone. If I could, in a perfect world, I would not go anywhere. I just buy everything from my phone. And I do. I've been getting into that more and more these days. You know, I do my online shopping, my grocery shopping, you know, do it on my phone, get it dropped off to my house, buy stuff online, clothing, all that good stuff, get it dropped off to my house. So everybody lives on their phones. And you got these little advertisings popping up all the time. So if you could be there where everybody's at on their phones, you're going to become a very wealthy man, or woman. And that's why I believe branding on social media is very important. Money likes attention, loves attention. I'm not special. I think I am special, but I'm going to say I'm not special. I just stayed consistent, and that's what changes everything. If you're watching this and you're stuck, you don't have to be. Sales changed my life. It can change yours too. So if you guys would like to follow me and learn a little bit more, you guys can follow me on my personal page on Instagram. It's the Face of Solar, the Face of Solar on Instagram. Then my business page on Instagram is Solar IQ, Solar Consultant. You can follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Making Financial Decisions. Then you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's called Making Financial Decisions. So you can follow me anywhere on any of those platforms. I also have both on Facebook. Facebook is also the Face of Solar. And then my Facebook business page is also Solar IQ, Solar Consultant. So you can follow me anywhere on those. You can DM me. You can respond to the comments in this video, however you'd like. There's so many different ways to get a hold of me. You guys take care. Appreciate everybody for watching this. Subscribe, follow, etc. All the above. Won't regret it, I promise.